All right, everybody. My name is Lloyd Cryer. Welcome to Frightmare HQ. I am here with the always lovable and scruffy Charles Doze.
Hi, Lloyd. How are you doing
I'm
today?
good, Charles. What's been up?
Feeling so good about this. 1996 is here, and it's a year that had some movies. That's
It
all I
did
can
have
say.
some movies. That's
It
about
had,
it.
it had enough movies for me to make a really good agenda out of, but not enough for me to try to make a good honorable mentions. That was really difficult.
Oh,
There's
yeah?
nothing honorable. Really
Nothing
good
honorable
agenda
about-
out of the honorable mentions, but they're there. There's a few of them.
Yeah. Well, we do have an interesting show tonight. Let's just say that. First off, I want to say hello to a few people that are out there. We've got some viewers live and online right now. First up is Downtown Travis Brown.
Downtown Travis Brown,
Yes,
the man,
sir.
the myth, the legend.
Yes, and he's joined by Todd Lewis,
Lewis.
JRE, Chrissy
JRE.
Gilliland, Jeanette Nolan.
Gilliland, Jeanette Nolan. I know Bert's out there somewhere, isn't he?
Let's see.
Bert's got to make it hurt.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. T. West, Jesse Watts, Travis Brown, and then here we go. Stephen Burt making it hurt.
Every day, 24/7,
And,
365. Making it hurt.
Richard Nettleton,
Oh, I know Rich Nelson.
David Dugas.
David Dugas. We got all our usual suspects here.
We do. We got Neil McElhaney.
Oh, yeah.
Todd Jara's here. And
Nice.
Paulette Henderson is here, and she says new
Ooh.
to show tonight. Everybody welcome
What's
Paulette.
up?
Yay, Paulette. Welcome to the show.
Very excited. Very excited to have
Maybe we
Paulette
ought to
here.
throw a celebrate at her. I'm going to play a celebrate.
Yeah, get it.
We're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate good times. Whoop, whoop.
So I hope that helps you get in the mood and kind of gives you a little foreshadow to what our show's all about.
Oh Lord! If you don't like horror movies or two really ridiculous white people, then this is not the show for you.
Yeah, two fat retarded white guys.
That's us. That's how we live our lives, you know.
We can call ourselves retarded, right? Is it okay to use that word if we? I don't think it's good to use.
I don't
that
know.
word. I'm not going to use that word
okay.
anymore.
I don't think it's okay to use it anymore.
Okay. Well, two.
I'm gonna let you use it, and I'm gonna see what
stupid,
people say
fat
about
white
it, and then
guys.
I'll let you use it, and then I'll see what people say about it, and then from there I'll decide whether or not.
That's right. Todd Jara says the teabagger is in.
Oh, teabag. He teabagged me once.
Yeah.
Oof. Changed my life.
I bet it did change your life. I did want to shout out to one of our viewers. I haven't seen him pop on yet, but John Kolchak Pertwee, he had some sort of a accident, he told me, and he said it'd cheer him up if we'd, mention him tonight. He had a head injury of some sort.
No, Kolchak, no.
Yeah, I know. So, our best wishes to you, John. I hope that you're okay and that you get on the mend really soon, because we need you every time we go live.
I need him here.
You do.
I need him here. We might as well just shut the show down because it's over.
I know. Oh, here he is. I see him. He says, "Hey, guys, thank you." So, everybody send healing energies and thoughts and prayers, whatever you do, send those to John Kolchak Pertwee. And let him know that we're all thinking about him.
Yeah, we're thinking about him.
Over on Twitch, we got Mr. 80s 1224. He says, "Hey guys, what's up? Howdy."
What is up, Mr. 80s? How are you?
I do want to welcome Horror Retrospective. They have begun following us on Twitch also.
Nice.
And
Very good.
Black and Bottle followed us, so keep it up, guys. We appreciate the support. Like this video.
We do, guys.
Yeah, when it's done, like it, comment, tell us how much you can't live without me and Charles, and it'll make us feel a lot better.
It'll make us feel better. Like, people like what we're doing.
That's
We're
right.
just a bunch of crazy old people just sitting here doing our thing. But
Doing our things.
it's going to be good. Friday, we got somebody coming on. Ooh. So, yeah, we got kind of a change in the schedule because we had to get somebody special on here, We had to get Miss Lynnea Quigley. She's coming on Friday.
Friday night at 7 p.m. So we won't do a Saturday 2 p.m. show. We'll do a Friday night this time. How's that? Might
as well get nasty on Friday. That works good for me.
That's right. And Lynnea, by the way, if everyone hasn't heard yet, she will be joining us at Frightmare Collectibles on December 19th. And that's one of the main reasons we're having her on. Frightmare HQ is so that we can bring her on and preemptively talk about this event, the Frightmare Collectibles Christmas Horror Market. Lynnea Quigley will be there. Leslie Dean is going to be there, and Paul Taylor, Pinhead from the latest Hellraiser, will also be there. And it's gonna be a good time. Hope everybody can join us for that. We're also going to have a whole bunch of vendors out there too, so you can come out and do some last-minute Christmas shopping. Heck
yeah. And we just did an interview with Paul Taylor last weekend, so if you missed that, you can check that out on YouTube. It was a nice little conversation with him. But
absolutely.
Really looking forward to Lynnea Quigley. I've been getting ready. I watched some of her movies. I watched Nightmare Sisters today, so I forgot what a weird movie that was.
It is a weird movie. It's bizarre.
It's such a weird movie. There's about halfway through the movie, you're just like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. Why are they taking a bath?
Yeah. I miss those days when people just made movies just so we could see naked people. Basically.
It's like there's like a 14-minute scene where they're in a bathtub giving each other a bath, and I'm like, what does this have to do with anything? Like they're not possessed or anything at this point. They're just rubbing each other. I'm like, this is not moving the plot forward at all for me. Like, hold on.
Yeah. Well,
but maybe we should remake that scene together. What do you think? Do you think
I don't know. I think we should start a production company and just start making movies like that because we can turn them out. The budget's got to be super low on something like that.
I'll be like, all right, in this scene, what you're going to do is you guys are going to get naked in the bathtub. I'm going to shoot you guys for 13 minutes. We got to keep it R-rated, so go.
Yeah.
That's your only direction.
That's it.
We're ready. Yeah, so it'll be fun. So we're going to jump in here and start talking about our movies. I'll let Lloyd kick it off, but
yes, sir.
We're going to give away a copy of People Under the Stairs tonight on Blu-ray. Had to do that.
Awesome.
Thanks to one of our recent guests who joined us, who is in People Under the Stairs. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yep. So everybody stay tuned. At some point during the show, Charles will feel frisky, and he'll give that bad boy away. So, but you just got to hang. You got to watch us, man. You got to watch us to win. Got to watch to win.
You never know when I'm going to do it.
That's right. All right. So let's kick off a 1996. First movie on the list. Charles has given me the pleasure of introducing this one.
I like to give you the pleasure, Lloyd.
I just wait for you to pleasure me, Charles. Two criminals and their hostages unknowingly seek temporary refuge in a truck stop populated by vampires with chaotic results. Released January 17th, 1996. This is the American horror film From Dusk Till Dawn, directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by Quentin Tarantino.
Ooh!
And there you go. Woo. We got. What is this? Was this the Japanese poster, Charles?
Yeah, I believe I pulled the Japanese poster for that one. Which I like the Japanese poster a lot better because I don't know. I like the way they put the perspective, and it looks more serious of a movie than the American poster. The American poster's got a lot of stuff going on. There's a titty twister and all kinds of stuff going on. So
yeah. Well, I love From Dusk Till Dawn. This was one that I was completely surprised by. I rented this on VHS tape, and wasn't expecting the kind of movie that I got. I went in not seeing a trailer or anything with this, and you wait about half the movie before it gets to any kind of horror elements. And it's just epic the way it's executed. You don't see a lot of films made that way anymore.
No, you don't. Originally this was conceptualized to be the second Tales from the Crypt movie. So after Demon Knight, this one was going to be the second one, but it didn't go that way. They produced another movie, which we'll talk about tonight, but this movie is 100% Rob Rodriguez. This is a totally Rob Rodriguez movie. And I love this the first time I saw it. The first time I saw it also was on VHS. And I don't know, it's so great. You got such a wonderful cast of characters. And I would say a lot of people that I've learned to love. I first was introduced in this movie, like Danny Trejo. Was probably the first time I was introduced to Danny Trejo was this movie. Even like Juliette Lewis. I think this is probably one of the first movies I was introduced to her, even though I'd already seen Cape Fear, of course, but I think this is the first time I really started enjoying her as an actress,
Right.
And George Clooney before he was George Clooney. He was just a TV guy, so.
Yeah. And talking about a cast, a cast list, Harvey Keitel, Cheech Marin, Tom Savini, Fred Williamson, Michael Parks, John Saxon, Kelly Preston. Wow, what a cast. And it really is an epic film. It feels like it's totally Tarantino because he wrote it mainly. But it's totally a Tarantino type deal, in my opinion. Just the whole twist at the middle of the movie when they go into the titty twister is fantastic.
Yeah. And I love that Cheech Marin plays like three different people in the movie.
Yeah.
It just appears like he's the border guard, and then he plays Chet, and he's Carlos at the end. You're like, Jesus.
Yeah.
always a guy I've wanted to meet. He's done so much. It's always a guy that I wanted to meet. Never been able to. So maybe one day get to meet him.
I got his and Chong's signature. I think I showed you this, but an attendee was nice enough. They were playing a show nearby when we were doing a convention one year, and an attendee actually went and took a High Times magazine and had a few things signed and gave me a copy of High Times magazine signed by Cheech and Chong, and it's one of my favorite things that I own.
That's cool. That is really cool.
Yeah, but I'm like you. I've never met them, but I would love to meet both of those guys.
Yeah, I never met them, and like you said, it's a great cast. Michael Parks is also in it. John Saxon's in it for a scene. It's just so many like people in here, and Selma Hayek is fantastic in it. She has like the greatest name of a character. What's her name in it? Like Santanico Pandemonium or something like that.
Yeah, Satanico Pandemonium, which is
there it is.
Actually is the movie Satanico Pandemonium, and I don't know. It's just
the greatest name.
it's just an epic film on several different levels. And too bad the sequels weren't great. But I was going to say earlier, Quentin Tarantino. I think he played himself in this movie, and he's really good at it. He just comes across as super. Oh my God, he's one of the creepiest characters I've ever seen. That whole scene where he's imagining what Juliette Lewis is saying. Crazy.
Richie.
Yeah.
Jesus. And Tom Savini is Sex Machine. Jesus. I was like, he's always, even knowing Tom and like being able to talk to Tom a lot, every time I see him, I still see Sex Machine. Even though he's done so much other stuff, I'm like, a Sex Machine right there.
Well, that's always how I tell people who Tom Savini is when it comes up in conversation and they're not a horror fan. If we talk about Tom, I'll always say, well, the guy from Dusk Till Dawn that played Sex Machine, and they always go, oh, that guy? Oh, yeah. So that's what everybody knows Tom from, mainstream.
I've always thought this character, Sex Machine, is like the same character he played in Dawn of the Dead in like a different universe. I've always thought they're the same person. It's just a different universe.
Yeah. It's certainly possible, the leather jacket and everything, but that movie's great. It's a horror flick. It's got lots of action. The first half of it is really a crime movie. But that's what makes it incredible, I think. It's just totally unique.
Quentin Tarantino is way too good at being crazy. Like, he is such a sociopath that he's just like, what? I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, it's so freaking creepy, dude. Well, there's for anybody that missed it, there is the poster again for From Dusk Till Dawn. If we awarded stars on this program, I would give From Dusk Till Dawn. I would give it 5 stars. Absolutely,
5 stars. We're gonna 5-star it today. All right,
5 stars.
There is a Blu-ray if you want From Dusk Till Dawn. Blu-ray's out from Paramount for like $12. If you have CBS All Access, it's streaming. Or you can rent it for $4 on like basically every streaming service has it. So
cool.
All right.
Fantastic.
I'm going to move on because next up is a movie that I like. This is a great movie.
All right. This is all Charles. I have not seen this movie, so go for it.
All
Charles.
right, guys. This is a fantastic movie. This is one of my Japanese movies. And another movie that's so difficult to find. Like most of these Japanese movies are like impossible to find. But a scientist alters an experiment with his own drug that transforms pain into a pleasurable experience. Unfortunately for the 3 women involved in the experiment, the drug works a little bit too well. This was released in Japan, February 20th, 1996. It's a Japanese body horror, shocksploitation, insane film called Splatter, The Naked Blood, or Splatter Naked Blood. It's directed by Hisasu Sato. And this is sort of a remake of his 1987 film, which was called Genuine Rape.
The Japanese and rape, man.
I think I have a clip from this one. So
yeah, we'll go ahead and play it. We should be able to talk over this, Charles. So let's see how this works.
All right, let's hear it. But
so we got a lady frying some stuff in a pan of grease.
She's hungry.
Or oil, or
she's very hungry. She's gonna get hungrier.
Okay.
She's about to get really, really hungry. So she's thinking about, I need to eat something. I'm super duper hungry.
I have a feeling she's gonna grab. I haven't seen this clip yet, y'all, but I have a feeling she's gonna grab something gross. Oh wait, I think I have seen this. I think I've seen this movie, Charles.
She's not gonna grab something. She's about to do something though.
I know. Yeah. Yep.
She's thinking about it.
I've seen this movie. It goes by another title, doesn't it?
It's either Naked Blood or Splatter Naked Blood.
Naked Blood, I think, is what the title that I've seen it on.
Yeah.
Man. That's bad. Did she dip it in batter first? No batter, just plain
straight up.
Straight up. Well, hey, look at this. My hand is finger licking good.
It's so good.
Did she just take a bite of it?
She's hungry, dude. She's hungry.
Holy. Yeah, I've seen this one. Like, the whole movie is like people are like suddenly trying to kill themselves by doing weird stuff, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, basically
harm on themselves, right?
Yeah, because basically this experiment makes people think that pain is like super pleasurable and they get addicted to it. This movie's very disturbing, but it's a very disturbing entry into the new wave Japanese splatter. There is very little dialogue throughout the movie. It's basically a series of bizarre events like we just watched.
Yeah.
Backed by a lot of really fun effects. The guy who directed this, Sato, he doesn't hold anything back in this movie. He doesn't really care about. This is not like a movie that went through the MPAA. He doesn't give a shit what you're watching or how you care about it. Yeah. It's out there.
I still have this on DVD. I bought that movie years ago. Like, it was like a Chinese import or something.
It's super difficult to find. There's no Blu-ray. There's no actual like DVD release you can actually buy right now. You have to get like a knockoff, or you can import one from Japan. It's still not cheap. It's another movie. There's so many of these lost like Japanese movies that were really amazing that never been released again. And I don't know if it's a rights thing, because a lot of them are made by companies that just sort of disappeared, not really. So it's just out in the middle of nowhere. The director of this, Sato, he's a really fantastic director. That if you're not familiar with his films, they're all crazy. He did a lot of movies called pink films. Have you ever heard the term pink film before?
Oh, yeah.
Which is basically a Japanese reference to theatrical films that deal with a lot of sexual content and nudity, either through exploitation, action, something. But really,
Nikatsu, right?
Yeah. This one is Hizasu Sato Hizasu.
Oh, I thought they called
Like
that.
this one?
I thought the Japanese name for that genre was like Nakatsu or something like that. I don't know. I could be confused.
Yeah, I mean, they just call it pink film. I mean, really, which is it's a Japanese translation to pink film.
Gotcha.
This director has a lot of really good movies that I would really encourage you to watch. The only problem is trying to find a lot of the damn movies is like impossible. It's like going on a quest for a 4-leaf clover and finding a leprechaun. You know, it's difficult.
Well,
it sucks.
There was a period where I got into J horror quite a bit, and this was one of the ones that I saw. And but I think around '96 was kind of the beginning of the J horror phenomenon, wasn't it? And then with Ring, it really took off.
Yeah, this is about the time we were kind of in a Japanese splatter horror time frame, and it kind of shifted into more like a cult supernatural type stuff. But this is a time of just crazy, what they called the Category 3, which was like basically our NC-17 movies, and they were just as crazy as they can make them. And we got a few on the list tonight. I mean, there was a good ones that came out in '96. So
yeah,
super recommend this one. There has been the DVD, like Lloyd said. There actually was a US DVD at one point, which was like 17 years ago. It was super limited, and now I have not seen one for sale in a long time. So if you could find it, I would recommend getting it, because this one's a fun watch. It's maybe crazy and gory, but it's actually a pretty intelligent movie. It deals with a lot of weird subject matter, and it's well put together.
Well, that's
all the
one
weirdness.
thing, if people are wondering, they're super serious films usually. Now some of them are over the top, crazy, stupid, silly, but these are some great movies, and I got to tell you, Splatter Naked Blood is not nearly the height of violent gore that Japan has dealt out over the last 25, 30 years.
Oh no, there's some more, but this one has, I won't spoil the scene, but there's a scene in this that is one of the weirdest and most disturbing scenes in this movie. It's not the scene I showed you, because I couldn't show you guys the scene I want to talk about, but
right,
it's not good.
Yeah. This movie is super violent, but man, there's a lot worse out there from the Japanese. So if you can find it, check it out.
Yeah, there's another one on our list tonight that's a lot more violent than this one, so don't worry.
Gotcha. All right, so next up on the list, Earl Bassett.
Oh,
a washed-up ex-celebrity is hired by a Mexican oil company to eradicate a graboid epidemic that's killing more people each day. Wonder what this movie is. However, the humans aren't the only one with a new battle plan. Released direct-to-video April 9th, 1996, this is the American action comedy horror film Tremors 2 Aftershock, directed by S.S. Wilson.
Is it directed by a boat?
Yes. Ahoy, matey, this is S.S. Wilson.
Matey. Well, all I know about S.S. Wilson is that he was a writer. He wrote some good stuff. I know he wrote Short Circuit, which I love. He also wrote Batteries Not Included, which I love. But after this movie, he wrote a really fantastic movie called Wild Wild West, and nobody gave him any work ever again. So there you go.
Nice.
Tremors 2 is actually really good, though. I like Tremors 2 a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. They all kind of run together for me. It just is what it is. It's been so many years since I've seen these, but it's got Remo Williams in it. Fred Ward, who played Remo Williams, is in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, this one, what I can tell you about the Tremors movies is they just keep getting worse and worse as it goes on. But the first two are actually
okay? How
good.
Severe is the digression? Is it like I'm trying to think, like Wrong Turn? Is it from like Wrong Turn 1 to Wrong Turn 2 immediate, or does it slowly, like, is this one bad, or and then 3 is even worse? How does it progress, Charles?
Trying to think how I can explain. Well, okay, let's say it kind of goes like this. It kind of goes like that.
Ah, gotcha.
So let me tell you, I tell people watch Tremors 1 through 3. Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. There's a new one out called Shrieker Island or something. I don't know, but I couldn't get through it. Tremors 4, I couldn't get through it, but Tremors 1 and 2 and 3 are fun. Tremors 2, though, I mean, it does lack a little bit of what made the first one so, I guess, such like a magical monster movie, because that one kind of clicked in a lot of right spots.
And is that Kevin Bacon? Is that what they're
Kevin
missing?
Bacon.
They were missing
Kevin Bacon.
I told you.
You know, everybody knows we need some Kevin Bacon here. Kevin Bacon and eggs is changes my life, you know? But I can tell you Tremors 2 was originally pitched, and it was budgeted to actually have Reba McEntire and Kevin Bacon back in it. It was a larger budget movie. And then, like, I know Reba McEntire turned it down, and then Kevin Bacon turned it down to do Apollo 13, right? And then because they couldn't get them, they basically said, I don't know, here's like $37, go make this movie. So that's kind of what they did. They went and did it. But I think it's a lot of fun. I think it, you know, it's...
I thought you were going to tell me
it kind of adds a little bit.
I thought you were going to tell me it was supposed to be the next Tales from the Crypt. I was like, Jesus Christ, what didn't start out as a Tales from the Crypt?
You know, it was supposed to be Tales from the Crypt in space. Well, even Apollo 13 was supposed to be a Tales from the Crypt movie. You know?
Oh, wow. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, that was going to be Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt in space.
It was, you know, even as far back as Schindler's List was supposed to be the first Tales from the Crypt movie. It didn't work out. They didn't like that idea.
Wow,
so.
I didn't know. I did not.
You didn't know that, did you?
No.
And
I'm just going to leave that joke right there, too. I'm just going to leave it right there. Right over there.
Look. Yeah. So, yeah. Now, there is a scene in this one. I don't know this movie, but Tremors 2 is not bad. I'll just tell you guys, Tremors 2 is a fun watch. You know, it was missing a lot of the cast from the first one, which made this movie fun. I mean, essentially, we got Fred Ward back, and you know, Fred Ward's like, hell yeah, I'm making Tremors 2, 3, 7, 27. I'm making them all.
Yeah,
making Tremors, film back to back. But Tremors is Tremors. You know, you can pick up Tremors. It's actually Tremors 2 is only on that Tremors Attack Pack Blu-ray set. So like the Tremors Attack Pack has movies 1 through 4 on Blu-ray. But it's only like $17 on Amazon, so it's not expensive. You want the whole set.
That's the way to do it.
What I'd recommend doing when you get it is get Tremors Attack Pack and then take out movie 4 and throw it in the trash. And then you have movies 1 through 3. And that's all you ever watch. That's make your own. So,
they're talking about the Arrow Tremors special edition. When did the Arrow Tremors release, Todd asks? I don't know. Is it already out? And that's a 4K, isn't it?
Yeah, Arrow is releasing it on 4K. It's not out yet. I believe it releases next week. I think it does.
Tremors 2 disc limited edition 4K Ultra HD comes out December 15th. So you're right, next week.
Yeah, December 15th. So next week. Yeah, so Tremors has a Blu-ray and then they have a 4K Blu-ray too. You can get.
Hey, look at that. We plugged
really looking
Arrow.
Forward to that one. Well, really looking forward to that because, you know, Arrow did a lot of work on that, but they're they actually did a 4K resto from the original camera negative, so that 4K movie is gonna be amazing.
I
The original
yeah.
camera negative has never been scanned. It hasn't actually been used since they printed interpositives to make 35 millimeter negatives for theaters. So up until now, like every VHS and every DVD release and even Blu-ray has been an upscale from a 35 millimeter theater print. So it's never been the actual original negative. So
All right. So
it's
that's
really
gonna
cool
be a
they got
good
it.
one, right?
My favorite thing, guys, about watching 4K movies scanned from the original negative is if you're super familiar with the movie, looking for things that are different colors. Because you'll find a lot of times that some stuff will be slightly different colors than you're used to because it lost a little bit of the pigmentation being transferred to a 35 millimeter. A good example is the Dawn of the Dead 4K set, which you watch and you'll notice subtle things like wallpaper is a little bit different colors and the blood, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's always my fun thing to pick out. But I have a really crazy eye for the stupidest little details. So
Yeah, and plus you've seen
problem.
Dawn like 15,000 times too. So
I've seen Dawn at least 500 times. It's not even a joke.
yeah, I think you've seen
I've
it more
seen-
than that, Charles. I really do.
I've seen Dawn. Not only have I seen Dawn, I've seen probably every version of Dawn of the Dead, which is literally probably 26 or 27 different versions, edited versions based on the regions they came from. I've seen them all. So
Yeah.
I have a problem.
Mr. 80 said that we should get Kevin Bacon on the show. So, yeah, that'd be great. We'd love to get Kevin Bacon on the show, but I don't know. I don't think he's interested.
Shit.
We've tried getting Kevin Bacon to the convention before, and that didn't work out either. So, I don't know. If we could, man,
he just
we'd do it.
laughs. If we could, we would, but you never know. Maybe he'll get bored one day, and we'll just keep bothering him, and he'll finally be like, "Fine, I'll do it."
I'd just like
Leave me
to
alone.
get him to sign something from Friday the 13th. That's all I want.
Footloose,
That's all
man.
I want.
Footloose.
Oh yeah.
I just want
Yeah.
Footloose. Footloose.
I need that Footloose soundtrack autograph by
Man.
Kevin Bacon.
Give me a Footloose original VHS signed by Kevin Bacon. I'll sleep with it every night.
I know you would, Charles. Okay, enough Kevin Bacon
right.
talk.
Well,
Where
we've got
we-
through 3 movies, and it's been 30 minutes. Yeah, let's jump.
All right.
All right. The next one is another one that I love. That's another movie that's like impossible to find. This is one that I've been subtly poking Vinegar Syndrome to try to get because it's right up their alley. It's a great movie. Shunned by his church, a seminary student takes refuge with an excommunicated priest who teaches him wizardry and black magic. It's Harry Potter, right? It's Harry Potter, the prequel. No, this was a Italian film released in Italy, April 19th, 1996. It's an Italian horror film called Arcane Sorcerer, which was written and directed by Pupi Avati. It was also known as The Mysterious Enchanter. I'm a huge fan of Pupi Avati, House of Laughing Windows. He's a great director. And this is a fantastic film. Have you seen this one, Lloyd?
I have not. This one. It must be somewhat hard to find because I don't know if I've even heard of this movie.
It's nearly impossible to find. It was only released on DVD in Italy, in an Italian version, the red Italian version, but there was no English subtitles in it. The first time I actually ever watched this was a copy that didn't have English subtitles because I wanted to watch it because it was a Pupi Avati movie. So I had to kind of figure out what was going on. Then I managed to get a VHS copy when I was maybe like 20 that actually had the English subtitles on it. And apparently the movie was not about what I thought it was about when I watched it in Italian because I don't know Italian. So, but it's a fantastic film that's really in a style of horror that was kind of lost in this time period. There's no blood, there's no gore. It's just like a really chilling story that unfolds really well. It's really well written. Like a lot of Pupi Avati movies, it can be a little bit slow. His movies are known for being a little bit dragging, but it's worth it. I mean, if you can actually find this movie, it's so amazing. I don't own a copy of it right now, and I wish I did. It's so impossible to get. It really is hard.
Yeah.
I was poking around, and I know that's the problem too. Is like I see stuff, but I don't know if they're sending you bootlegs or what, but there was a couple places selling DVDs with English subtitles, but I can't find any info about an actual release with English subtitles ever being a legit release. That's kind of the problem.
Interesting.
So,
well, it sounds like one that's probably worth searching out if you guys, are interested in it. It sounds very interesting.
It's a really interesting story, and if you pull it up, it's actually got phenomenal reviews on like everything you look at, and so many people have been pushing people to release this. I even like poked Arrow about it a bunch of times. I was like, find this movie, and nobody could seem to get it out. I don't know if it's another one with like rights issues, all these weird rights issues with stuff that people can't seem to settle down. So
yeah, I do know another problem with Italian films nowadays is that nowadays it seems like they recognize what the value is in their films, and they're raising the price to distributors. They're asking huge money for these Italian films now to license them. So you never know, that could be part of the problem too.
Yeah, and that's when we get the problem, guys. When you see Blu-rays getting released for like $60 and $70, it's because these people want like, oh, you want to release my movie? That's $190,000 or something ridiculous, and I want 80% of every Blu-ray disc or something like that,
Yeah,
something crazy.
It gets crazy. All right, so that sounds like a good one. Moving on to the next one. This is something much more wide. I don't know, what do you call it? It's much more recognized. A newcomer to a Catholic prep high school falls in with a trio of outcast teenage girls who practice witchcraft, and they all soon conjure up various spells and curses against those who anger them. Released May 3rd, 1996, it's the American supernatural horror film The Craft, directed by Andrew Fleming and starring Fairuza Balk and Neve Campbell. The Craft.
I know this movie.
Yeah.
I know this movie. Right?
This is a movie that I didn't see for a long time because, I don't know, it just seemed like a teenage girl movie. But it really is more than that. And I can say, comfortably say anybody could watch this and probably enjoy it. It's it's a big one, especially to the younger generation, the 90s kids.
Yeah, I was a teenager when this came out. I can remember this being a really big movie at the time. Andrew Fleming's a decent director. He did a movie in the 80s I liked called Bad Dreams. I was always a fan of Bad Dreams. But he didn't really direct much else. This movie was, super renowned. People actually liked this movie a lot. It made good money, and then he just kind of didn't really do much after this, at all. But I've always liked The Craft. It's definitely one where you think it's going to be some teeny bop-like movie. And I think it was made at the right time, because I think if it was made 3 years later, it probably would have been a lot more teeny boppy, because that's kind of what happened with a lot of these movies. So I think it came out at just the right time. It had the right cast and crew in it.
Yeah, and another movie that a lot of people recognize came out this year too, that we're going to get to here in a little bit. Another movie that had Skeet Ulrich and Neve Campbell in it as well. I wonder what that was.
Ooh, what's that movie? Oh, that was Apollo 14.
Apollo 14. All right, Charles.
Apollo 14 in space. We don't have to talk much about The Craft. Everybody knows The Craft. Really well-known movie. It's a great movie. It's out there. It's on Blu-ray for like $10 on Amazon. Not streaming anywhere, but you can rent it for $4 basically everywhere.
Yeah.
Next up, we're getting to another one of my movies, guys. Oh yes. Yes. All right, let me read this trailer. Let me read the synopsis here. I'm trying to be serious because the synopsis is going to tell you everything you need to know. A restaurant employee wanted for murder contracts Ebola virus when he rapes a woman and subsequently starts an outbreak. Oh, Jesus. I have to read this out loud. This was released in Hong Kong, June 15th, 96. It's the Hong Kong horror exploitation film Ebola Syndrome, directed by Herman Yao. And what a movie it is, let me tell you that. I think we got a trailer for this one.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll the trailer. I have seen Ebola Syndrome. I'm pretty well acquainted with this movie.
Yeah, and it's another one where we get into the 90s. It's hard to find decent trailers, but I tried my best. So
Yeah.
let's roll.
But, you know, you really don't. I don't know if you really need a trailer for this. What do
You don't need a because the trailer's not going to show you much either because there's a lot going on in this movie. It's just not in the trailer. Oh god,
this is a
Chrissy
great
loves this movie.
pandemic movie. This one will, you know, if Outbreak
This is a great
and
pandemic movie.
movies like that don't scare you, you need to watch Ebola Syndrome.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, this is not streaming anymore, guys. Surprise, surprise.
Really? Actually, I thought
your
this would
best
be
bet-
one that would be streaming somewhere.
It's on Disney. It's on Disney Plus.
It's on the Disney Channel. No, I actually would think
Sorry.
Ebola Syndrome would be streaming because it is kind of more well known than a lot of those.
It's pretty well known, but the thing is, it's never been released on Blu-ray anywhere. It hasn't been released on DVD in a decade, and the US DVD is way too much money on eBay. You can import a Japanese region-free one for $10, and there's a site called yesasia.com, which will actually ship it over to you. It's like they only charge you like $5 for shipping. So,
Yeah. I used to order from Yes Asia.
yeah, it's a good source for some of these Japanese imports because you get them a lot quicker.
Yeah, and you're pretty sure that what they have is going to be legit. You know, it's not going to be a bootleg. So is it over yet? Because
no,
the trailer's still. Oh no, it's over. Yeah, here he pulled
yeah,
it
it's
out
over.
again. So.
Pull it out. I mean, this movie's got a lot of things you want in a movie. I mean, you got racism, you got rape, you got human hamburgers, you got cursing, you got rape, you got gore, you got rape, murder, rape, you got masturbation, you got lots of rape, cannibalism, rape, you know. A lot of things you want like in a Disney movie, like a wholesome family
good,
movie.
wholesome family movie.
I like this director, Yao. He directed one of the most insane Hong Kong films ever. It's not this one. It's a movie called The Untold Story.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever heard of it. Oh my God, it's a
I know The
nuts movie.
Untold Story also. Yeah, that's a crazy, crazy movie.
This is a fun movie though. I mean, I like Ebola Syndrome, and it's a B. It's really like a B gore movie, but it's out there. I'd recommend getting it and watching it.
Yeah, I do too. And The Untold Story.
The Untold Story, yeah. I mean, get everything from this director and just subject yourself to it like one long day.
Yeah. Now, The Untold Story was that, what year did that one come out? Because I'm trying to remember the original name.
It's 93. It was the Immortals restaurant. The Untold Story was the original name.
Okay.
Bat Sinfandim Yang Yuk, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
That's okay.
Yeah, it's another great movie. You got a guy who's running a pork buns restaurant, they're suspecting him of murder. It's actually a super well made movie. It's a great movie, so it's one I'd recommend jumping in there.
Definitely. Yeah, these are worth it because, like I said, this was kind of at the beginning of J horror, but all of the Asian films were coming on really strong, and there was some incredibly good Asian films during this period. Just really, really good.
Yeah, and Charles Anderson said it was a great performance by Anthony Wong, and Anthony Wong is actually a really great actor. Not known outside of Asia, really. I mean, he really focused on Japanese movies, but he did so many great things. Yeah, I mean, I could give you a list of his stuff. A lot of it's not really horror, some of his stuff, but you know, there's some stuff I like of his. It's really good. A movie called Taxi Hunter he did was really good. Movie called Cop Image. I mean, he just did a lot of really great movies. The Ebola Syndrome is a crazy movie.
Yeah.
He did some more movies. He did a movie called Black Mass. I think a lot of people know. He was in that one. So.
All right, go check it out, y'all. Ebola Syndrome.
Ebola Syndrome. Like I said, best place is yesasia.com. They got a region-free DVD you can get from them. So
there you go. Okay, next up, an extremely successful dentist goes off the deep end after he catches his wife cheating on him. First premiering at the Fanta Festival in Italy, June 18th, 1996. This is the American slasher film. The Dentist, directed by Brian Yuzna and co-written by Stuart Gordon.
Yeah. Dentist is a fun movie. It's kind of a toss-up. I see people who don't like this movie, and I see people who love this movie, kind of in the middle. But I really like Corbin Burnson in this movie.
Yes.
He's a lot of fun.
You remember the year we brought Corbin Burnson to the show?
I do. He was a really nice guy. And
yes, he was.
I know him mostly from Major League, so that's kind of what I would know him from.
Yeah.
I was like, I like Major League a lot. But Brian Yuzna is a great director. He worked a lot with Stuart Gordon over the years. He was kind of like his right-hand man a lot of times. So he did Bride of Reanimator. He stepped in for that. I always enjoyed his style. He was a producer he produced Reanimator, From Beyond. He wrote From Beyond, I believe. So he worked a lot of Stuart Gordon stuff, and they have kind of a similar style,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he started out mainly being a producer, but then he kind of got into all the other stuff.
Yeah, he did. He produced he produced Reanimator with Stuart Gordon, and then him and Stuart Gordon kind of wrote From Beyond together, and he also produced that. They worked together a lot. They ones who came up with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of together too. So fun little team. I like The Dentist though. The Dentist was not really well received at the time, but it's definitely got a nice little following over the years. It's a fun little flick. It's pretty original. It's entertaining. Corbin Burnson really well playing this insane dentist. He does it really, really well. It's just a great one. It really is a lot of fun. It's got some good comedic elements to it. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, and Corbin hadn't really done a lot of conventions when he did our show. I remember that may have been like one of his first, I don't know if it was his first, but it was definitely early on, and he's done quite a few conventions since then. That was way back in like 08 or 09 or something, wasn't it?
I can't remember. It was a while back.
It was a long time ago, but quick question. Which is better, The Dentist or Dr. Giggles? Everybody tell us, what do you like better, The Dentist or Dr. Giggles? Charles, what do you like?
I'm more of a fan of Dr. Giggles because something about Dr. Giggles, I just love Larry Drake, and that one's I guess it's kind of a toss. It was like I like Dr. Giggles better, but I think The Dentist is more well made, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of a hard one.
I get you.
But yeah. Love The Dentist though. If you want The Dentist, surprisingly, The Dentist has never been released on Blu-ray, which I didn't realize until I looked it up. I thought it was on Blu-ray, but it's not. It actually is on Blu-ray in Spain. Never been released in the U.S., but in Spain they've got a Blu-ray. You can import it for $12 if you got a region free player. If not, you got to get a U.S. DVD for $8. Sorry.
Yeah, or you can get the Roku channel, and you can get the Roku channel without having a Roku.
And you can watch it free with ads on the Roku channel.
There you go. Free, baby. That's what it's all about.
Free, baby.
The Dentist. I'll put the poster up one more time, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Man, I love that poster. I love The Dentist.
It is cool. Charles, this is one that's probably near and dear to your heart.
Oh, I love this movie so much. A down on his luck con man that can see ghosts must stop an evil force that has invaded his small town. Oh, yes. Released July 19th, 1996. It is the U.S. New Zealand comedy horror film, The Frighteners, directed by Peter Jackson and starring Michael J. Fox, Dee Wallace, Jeffrey Combs, and Jake Busey. Man, I love The Frighteners, I can remember the first time ever seeing this, which was on VHS, and it made me become a man. It was so amazing. It's such a great movie though. And at the time, it used it was one of the films that used the most like computer generated imagery like ever, like the most scenes that was ever done at the time.
I believe that.
Peter Jackson, yeah, it was so crazy. But the cast in this is great, and the standout in this movie is Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs is so Jeffrey Combs in this
off
movie.
The wall, over the top, and amazing.
Like this, yeah. There's the scene where the lady starts like talking to him really loud, and he runs into the other room and throws up. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I can't take it when a woman raises her voice to me." I'm like, what is going on? Makes me sick to my stomach. It's like, what's going on? Then he rips off his shirt, and he's like, "My body is roadmap of pain."
Jeff Combs is so amazing hard in this movie.
And it's so hard every time I meet him because I want to take my shirt off and just be like, "My body is roadmap of pain, Jeff." But no, Jeffrey, like he knows me enough now. He'd probably just laugh and be like,
he probably
"Stop
would."
it, Charles. Shirt on. Put your shirt on, Charles.
You know, Jake Busey in this movie was perfect casting because he just looks like a 50s bully. You know what I'm saying? He with that flat top and the whole thing. That's what he looks like.
He looks like Biff Tannen. He looks like Biff Tannen's brother.
Yep, you're right. You're right. Biff Tannen. Hello, McFly.
Anybody home? Think, McFly. Think.
But yeah, if I would recommend if anybody out there that's listening right now has not seen the Frighteners, go get that, watch it immediately. Mr. 80 says, "Don't forget about R. Lee Ermey." I almost did. That would have been terrible. Shame on us, Charles. But R. Lee Ermey is fantastic in this movie too.
He's basically playing his character from Full Metal Jacket. That's pretty much what he's doing. He's so great. Yeah. What the hell are you doing in my graveyard? Yeah. Get the hell out of here. Jesus. This movie too, when it came out, was like a flop. Like nobody went and saw it, and like it lost so much money. This was like the last original Peter Jackson film, that we got before he became Mr. Lord of the Rings.
Right.
I'm Lord of the Rings. Oh, look at me. But, I really like this movie. And it was written by Peter Jackson and his wife. Actually, I think she's his wife, but they're together. They wrote this together, and they actually pitched it to Robert Zemeckis. Mm-hmm. Surprise, surprise. And Robert Zemeckis originally wanted to use this as a TV show basis, but I don't know, the way the script was, Robert Zemeckis is like, "Man, Peter Jackson, you got to direct this movie." Knowing him from like Dead Alive and stuff, they're like, "You got to do this movie." And it turned out so fun, even though Peter Jackson's crazy and wanted to film it in New Zealand, even though it's supposed to be based in New England in the United States. But yeah, that's the funniest thing is they have all these U.S. license plates on everything, but it's like New Zealand. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's a great movie, and if you haven't seen this, it's you have to watch this because the effects in this are actually really fantastic for the time. It was so complex for this time period. So much of this movie was computer generated imagery, which wasn't done at the time.
Yeah,
and really packed by this really amazing
done
cast.
Badly.
Badly, but not in as much detail as this. This movie's like so much of this movie is CGI, and it's crazy when you watch it.
And it's done well. The effects are done well. The acting's great. It's got a great script. Peter Jackson's directing it. It's a shame it's not more well known. But
yeah, it's picked up a good cult following over the years, and finally there was a good Blu-ray released. But yeah, I really like this movie, and everybody's got to go check this one out. It's also got what's his name in it? John Astin.
Oh yeah,
is in it?
Isn't he the old ghost?
Yeah, the judge, the old judge. Cowboy judge, whatever he is.
That's right. Yeah.
He's so great in it too. There's a scene where he sees a mummy and he gets all turned on by the mummy, and he's like, "Oh, she got good bones." Like,
yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on? Love this movie though. Always love this movie. Always a great one.
Same here, man. Same here. Looks like it's readily available. Right, Charles? It looks like HBO Max. You can see it on there right now, and I'm guessing that a lot of people have HBO Max right now.
Yeah.
Or you can rent
HBO Max.
Yeah, you can rent it on various services, or you can buy a Blu-ray. It's pretty cheap, $10. So this one is definitely worth the money, guys. Whatever you spend.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and the Blu-ray's actually got the director's cut on it too, the different version. So
there you go. All right, next up, let's see if they can guess this one by the first 3 letters. I'm next,
Probably.
right, Charles? I'm not getting off
That's
track
you.
here. Okay. The Crypt Keeper
ooh,
returns to tell the story of a funeral parlor that moonlights as a vampire bordello. Released August 16th, 1996. This is the American comedy horror film Bordello of Blood. Directed by good old Gilbert Adler and starring Dennis Miller and Chris Sarandon. Oh boy. Bordello of Blood.
Bordello of Blood.
And it had Erica Eleniak in it, who I used to think was probably the sexiest woman alive at one point. So.
Oh Lord, calm down.
Yeah, I don't know about now, but it's also got Angie Everhart, but good old Dennis Miller. I'm sorry.
Dennis Miller.
However, I was trying to do his affect on his voice, but I don't know if I'm that good.
You don't know if you're that good?
I don't think I'm that good. Dicey Grenner has just followed us over on Twitch. Thanks for the follow.
Thank you for the follow. Much like the first Tales from the Crypt movie, Demon Knight, this movie was not originally conceived as a Tales from the Crypt movie either. This script was wrote a long time ago. This script was originally wrote by Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis at the same time they were writing Back to the Future in the late 70s. They wrote this movie, and with the idea that they wanted to make some sort of horror film to catch in on what was popular at the time. At the same time, they were trying to peddle around Back to the Future, and nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted this movie either. So it sort of sat in the bin for like 20 years. And then finally it was kind of dug back up in the efforts to make anything and rewritten a little bit by Gilbert Adler, and it became Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood.
Well, hey, put the Crypt Keeper at the beginning and the end, and we got a Crypt Keeper movie.
Man, I want to add the Crypt Keeper to like a bunch of random movies like Titanic, Just want to put the Crypt Keeper at the beginning like, I got a story for you guys.
Hello,
this is a story of love. Put him at the front of, I don't know, give me some other movies. What are we going to put him in the front of?
The Ten Commandments.
The Ten Commandments. I'll tell you a tale of 10 Commandments and Charlton Heston.
With Charlton Heston.
He's going to be spooky.
Spooky. Boils and ghouls.
Boils and ghouls. Here it comes.
Remind me to not do impersonations anymore. I'm tearing it up tonight.
I can't do impersonations at all.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I'm like, look, I just want to see him introduce something crazy. I don't care what, like La Bamba or something. I don't care. Put him for a La Bamba. Let me tell you the story of Richie Valens.
Oh my Lord, I don't know about that. Well, Bordello of Blood.
Oh Jesus.
Whatever. I like Demon Knight better.
It's not that good, but it's not that bad.
It wasn't a terrible movie.
It wasn't terrible. They sold it on sex appeal. They're like, man, we got vampires and titties. They're like, woo, we're going.
That's it. We're making millions.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was definitely a movie that was made for a lower budget.
They're saying they hear Mickey Mouse and Elmo when I do that voice.
Mickey Mouse and Elmo? Yeah, I don't know. Dennis Miller did not like this movie, though. He was actually known that before this was released, he was on some talk show and he told people not to go see it because it wasn't good. So while they were promoting it,
I don't know, Dennis Miller has never been one of my favorite comedians. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but it's just Too much, I guess, too much politics and stuff like that. And I don't know. Just never was.
He's too much of a curmudgeon. He's too much of a curmudgeon.
He is kind of a curmudgeon.
I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with you, curmudgeon.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, the next movie, whenever you're ready to move on, is an all-time classic, Charles.
Are you sure? Yeah, it is, actually. I just remembered when it is. All right. Bordello of Blood, guys. Shout Factory has a Blu-ray out that's $23 on Amazon. I don't know if Bordello of Blood is for $23. You can rent it on Amazon for $4. It's not streaming anywhere, but it's up to you.
It will be one day soon. You can wait.
If you need Bordello of Blood in your life, the Shout Factory Blu-ray's out there. But I'm going to move on to a movie that's a lot better. All right, guys? A detective is hired to investigate a series of bizarre attacks at a hotel where the male guests are all having their penises mysteriously bitten off. Lloyd, this happens all the time. This was released in Germany August 29th, 1996. It's a German horror comedy film called Killer Condom, directed by Martin Waltz, with the original title was Condom das Grauens, which meant condom of horror. Condom das Grauens.
It would have to
Condom
be.
das Grauens.
It's a German movie. Did you say that already?
German. Condom das Grauens.
It would have to be a German movie. They're the ones right first out of the gate with a killer condom movie.
Now, I have to tell you, I'm upset that Udo Kier is not in this movie, okay?
Yeah, but we did get Udo Samel.
We got a default Udo, okay? We got the wrong Udo.
He played Luigi Macaroni. Oh
Macaroni.
In case anybody's wondering, this is a trauma video, a trauma flick, so that explains everything.
Yeah, it's a quirky movie. It's really weird. Another movie that's hard to get too. You know, there's not a Blu-ray of this one. You have to seek out the Killer Condom DVD that's out there.
Oh my God!
Why has Trauma not brought this out?
Just wait till after this show. They're gonna have a run on these whatever. The DVD, it's like $30 on eBay. They're going to go up now after we talk about it. They'll be like 120. So hurry up and get a copy, everybody.
Hurry up and get a copy because after we talk about it, everybody's going to want this. This is great. It's based on, there's a comic book series called Condom das Grauens, which is Condom of Horror, and also called Beast of Die Notion, which meant down to the bones.
Anything in German sounds like everybody's just angry. Anytime you say anything.
Nein! Condom das Grauens! Nein!
Condom des Grauens! Oh my God.
Condom das Grauens! The condom that rubs you out! Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But there it is. There's Killer Condom. It's on the screen. It's got big condom teeth to rip your penis off. So...
yeah,
get ready, everybody. This is serious stuff.
Yeah, and this wasn't initially. I don't think was a trauma movie to begin with. It was released in Germany, and I think Trauma picked it up 98 or 99 and released it in the U.S. in 98 or 99. It actually had a theatrical release in the U.S. Surprisingly, it did a small amount of theaters, which I unfortunately missed because. It must have not came around me because if I saw anything called Killer Condom, I would have been at the theater like, yep.
I'm seeing this one.
I'm seeing this one. Das Condom das Grauens.
So I'm reading on the cover and it says creative consultant H.R. Geiger. I don't know if I believe that. I mean, if he was a creative consultant, they probably just showed him like a picture, like a drawing on a napkin of what the condom was going to look like. And maybe he said, well, what I would do is I would put more teeth in it. And that's probably the extent of his consulting on this movie. I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he was more involved in Killer Condom. Giger, H.R. Giger, H.R. Geiger, however you
H.R. Geiger, well... Actually, he surprisingly conceived some of the very weird set design for this movie. H.R. Geiger did.
Oh, is that right?
And he also came up with the look of the condom. He was one of the people who helped come up with the look of it. And
what a major contribution, Mr. Geiger. We salute you.
And really what I think it was is I think I literally I think happened like I think it is what you said. I think they somehow got him to agree to like a pitch meeting and went in there and showed him stuff and he was like, I don't know about this or this, and then never talked to him again. It was like H.R. Geiger did our movie.
He consulted us.
He consulted us. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start doing random things like that. And just bring out a movie that's like a bunch of people attached to it. Be like, yep, yeah, they did it.
Well, I don't think this was the only condom attacks movie that was ever made, too, right? There were other killer condom movies, right? After this or before it or something. There's just got to be. I just can't imagine somebody left that gold mine sitting on the floor for years before Killer Condom. But
I don't know. I don't know if there's another one. I think this is the only one.
The only Killer Condom movie, is that right?
Guys, we got to remake this movie, guys. Everybody out there, if you guys want to remake this movie, yes, Richard said it needs to be remade at Frightmare, and we need a Killer Condom reunion at TFW. Yes, we do. We need a reunion.
Somebody give me Udo Sammel's phone number right now.
There's no telling where he is, dude. Maybe if we get good, we can remake this with Udo Kier instead of Udo Samuel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yes,
I'm Udo Kier.
Yes, I will play the Killer Condom. That is my role. I am always the villain.
I am always villain. You see me look, I condom like this. I condom.
You believed it. Acting, thespian.
Acting. I am very good actor. You can see I'm super Hollywood famous actor Udo Kier. I condom. You believe it. I done.
Pay me now.
Pay me now. All my money.
So this movie isn't streaming as Charles talked about, but you can run and get it on eBay and check it out. Next movie up is we're kind of going to do a little segue. We're going to go from one rubber to another rubber. This movie is described as proceeds. Scientists who use a brain-altering drug to conduct experiments subject their patients to gruesome tortures that often end in brutal death. Released in Japan, September 28th, 1996. It's the Japanese cyberpunk horror film Rubber's Lover, directed by Shojin Fukui. And if I'm not incorrect, wasn't this also called Pinocchio 2021 or something like that? Pinocchio's Revenge, or I think it has an alternate title.
No, this one was always Rubber's Lover, but this is a Shojin. He did a movie. This is his follow-up movie. He did a movie called 964 Pinocchio.
Is that what I'm thinking of? Okay.
Yeah, that's a different movie he actually did. 964 Pinocchio was made in 91. And actually, I had it on our honorable mentions list for 91. So it popped up on there. It was also called Screams of Blasphemy in the UK. That's a weird movie. This one's a little weirder. This one's a little bit weirder.
Let's go ahead and play the trailer.
Let's drop it in.
Yeah, let's see how weird this is. So,
go ahead. The trailer's one of those trailers where you watch it, you're like, what the hell just happened?
That is pretty cool, though. This, just the cinematography of this scene and everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those experimental tech noir cyberpunk weirdo movies. You know, it's just it's very crazy. But I mean, you know, Shuzan's kind of known for 964 Pinocchio and this movie represented. That's kind of what he's known for. This movie it's weird, but I mean, it's not as bonkers as some of the stuff we talked about earlier. But it's actually a pretty brilliant movie. It's got a great plot. And it's shot very well. The movie is in black and white, which is kind of a common for these type of movies at the time. But yeah, I mean, I like this one. It's not like knocking out of the park like some of the other ones I've rave on, but it's a lot of fun. It's a movie that only the Japanese could make at this time.
Yeah,
it's totally a Japanese film, and it's one of those pseudo surrealist movies. But it's got great acting, really great acting in this, and it's not for. There is a lot of gore in this movie. It's not for to sit down with your kids and watch. Well, you can, depending if your kids are like me, but you still can. But
so what I was thinking of is, as you pointed out earlier, Shojin Fukui, he directed Screams of Blasphemy, which is also known as 964 Pinocchio, and then he directed Rubber's Lover. So that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, I don't know if I've seen this. I've always heard of this movie, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
It's I hate to tell you guys, this is another one that's impossible to find. I wish I could tell you where it was. I don't promote bootlegs, but it was released on DVD about 20 years ago and never seen again. It's one of those movies that have just disappeared. This movie would be so fantastic if it was remastered on a Blu-ray. I mean, it's good, and it hasn't. And that's kind of the trend we're going to see with a lot of these Asian horror films, especially in the 90s for some reason. It's just like they just got done with them, and they were like, all right, it's done.
Yeah.
And we don't ever see them again. It's I saw this movie last maybe 10 years ago, and I had a copy of the DVD, and one I had sold like 5 or 6 years ago, and I wish I didn't sell it. But it's not easy to find, and it's a fun movie if you can get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cool movie, and it's just great for the to see the filmmaking aspect of it. It's really, really that good. So, all right, Charles, I think you're next.
Oh, this is a fun one.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. An obese attorney is cursed by a gypsy. Woo-hoo! To rapidly and uncontrollably lose weight. This was released October 25th, 1996. It's the American body horror film Thinner, directed by Tom Holland, based on Stephen King's 1984 novel of the same name, which he wrote under the pseudonym Richard Bachman. Lloyd, I give you the thinner, sir.
Thinner. What kind of pie was that he had to eat?
It was a cherry pie? I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember either. I just remember it was kind of gross.
There's a line for this movie I always say, and I always say I'm going to give you the curse of the white man from town. Yeah. I say that all the time to people. You beware the curse of the white man from town. Like, Jesus Christ. This is a fun movie though. It's really weird, but not too weird. And Tom Holland was perfect to direct this. I think this is a great Tom Holland movie.
Yeah, they somebody answered the question. It was correct. It was a strawberry pie. Tatsu mixes Billy's blood into a strawberry pie. So there you go. We should have saved that for the Blu-ray giveaway.
She tried it. They tried it. Mm-hmm. It's actually a good story though. It's a little, I don't know. It's really good. I think it's a little dramatized in some areas. Like it drags on a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I always love the creepy gypsy old man. Is just, I don't know. That's going to be me another like 5 years. I'm going to look just like him.
Yeah.
So
the book's good too. If you've never seen or read the book.
Yeah. The makeup and effects in it were actually really good too. Not to give some scenes away, but there were some really good effects in it. I really like it though. I always enjoyed this one. Another one, I saw this one in theaters back in '96, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really good acting in it, even though most of the cast was pretty unknown. It was people who were kind of known, but they weren't huge actors.
Yeah.
Robert John Burke is really great in it, and I knew him from, he took over as RoboCop in RoboCop 3, which I always gave him crap for because Peter Wells was my RoboCop. But
I was like you. I saw this in the theater too, and the only one that I remember knowing who they were when I originally saw it was Joe Mantegna.
Yeah, I kind of recognize. He was the one that was kind of recognizable. Everybody else was just kind of like, they were all good, but nobody really kind of knew who they were. They didn't really stand out to you. So
yeah. Great
use though of, I like seeing that when when a movie's not built on, oh, I know who that is. It's kind of a fun way, which we don't see enough anymore because every movie nowadays has to have somebody in it that somebody knows.
Yep.
Even streaming movies have to have a big Even if it's one big star, then the whole cast of people that they found outside serving potatoes.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're like, we have to have one star.
Well, I would love that too if they could cast that way, but I just think the audiences nowadays are to blame. They've gotten too finicky. Everybody wants to see Brad Pitt or some huge name. So
look,
there you go.
I'm gonna start being in every movie. All right, I'm gonna be the star of every movie that comes out. Mm-hmm. So get ready.
I like this poster though. This is the American poster, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, looks American, and I like it. It's cool. It's kind of a creepy thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was really the only poster that was made. As we got into the 90s, guys, the days of really awesome import posters was kind of gone. I mean, really, everybody used the same image, and they were just changing the language on it, So Japan is kind of the one exception. They still did that with some movies like we saw from Dusk Till Dawn, but it was mostly still images from movies that were changed. It wasn't... drawings, stuff like that, like we saw in the 70s and 80s. Stuff was really cool.
Yeah.
Miss those days of awesome posters.
Definitely. All right, Thinner, guys. Where can we see this one, Charles?
Man, Thinner is on Olive Films. There's actually a really fantastic Blu-ray from all those films. It's only $18 on Amazon. But it's also on Prime Video. It was recently added, I think, a couple months back. So you can watch it on Prime, too. Or you can rent it on Vudu and everything for $4. So... But I recommend the Olive Film Blu-ray if you're a physical disc person, because they've got a great Blu-ray out with a great cover. So do it.
Perfect. All right, here we go. We got a creature feature. After being bitten by a werewolf in the jungle, a man struggles to overcome the curse of lycanthropy. Released November 1st, 1996, this is the Canadian-American horror film Bad Moon. Written and directed by Eric Red, loosely based on the novel Thor by Wayne Smith. Luna Maldita. That means...
Luna
Doesn't that just mean bad wolf? Mean wolf?
Dude, I don't know.
Terror wolf?
I think it means bad Lloyd Cryer. Bad Lloyd.
Moon wolf. Luna Maldita. Bad moon. Oh, that means bad moon.
Well,
that was a long way. That was a long way to go to get to Bad Moon.
I was like, "What's going on here?" I just blacked out. I was like, "What's going on?"
That was awesome. Luna Maldita. Oh yes, I can read this. I can read Spanish. This means bad wolf.
This means bad wolf. Yes. So happy. Very happy. Yeah, I know this movie. There was a lot of edits that were made to it because they were running into a struggle with getting an NC-17 rating. But overall, I like Bad Moon. I don't think enough people have seen Bad Moon. I always run into a lot of people who have no idea what this is. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's not like, I think it's a pretty underrated film. It's not like the best werewolf film ever, but it's pretty underrated. Lots
I think
of
it is.
Good.
In a world full of bad werewolf films, you got to give this one a little credit, right?
I mean, not every movie can be My Stepmom is a Werewolf. Not every movie can be that.
Yeah, or Teen Wolf even, or Teen Wolf 2, TOO.
Yeah, but here, I mean, the wolf, looks great. Michael Parr is really good in it. Acting is solid. The direction is actually really good. The effects are pretty decent, and it's a fun watch. It's really enjoyable. It's definitely a rewatchable movie too. It's a lot of fun to throw in every now and then.
Yeah,
and rewatch it. Nice little twist.
It is.
It's a good one it's a good weekend movie. If you haven't seen it, it's a good one to watch and sit around and watch if you haven't seen it. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. It's got a good, solid cult following. And well, it should, because like I said, there's a lot of bad werewolf movies. And this one rises to the top of that. So. Yeah.
And there's an awesome little cute dog in it who's really good. So he's a good actor too. So
Thor the German Shepherd, right?
Yep.
There you go.
Gotta enjoy him.
So that's Bad Moon. In Spanish, it's Luna Maldita. Mitad.
Bad Moon's on.
Huh?
What?
I was going to read the tagline. Mitad hombre, mitad lobo, terror total.
Total terror?
Total terror. And we've had both of these stars at our show. Mariel Hemingway and Michael Pare have both been at Texas Frightmare Weekend. Mariel Hemingway is super sweet, and Michael Pare seemed like a nice guy too. So check it out. Check it out.
Check it out. Jesse Watts says he has the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Yes, Scream Factory has a Blu-ray out of it that's really good. And it is on Shudder right now too. If you're more of the streaming person, Shudder has it out. And Hoopla, which you mentioned before, Hoopla has it. Yeah. There it is, guys. Like Bad Moon.
T. West loves it too.
Next one is, I think, one that people have seen.
We're going to go out with a bang.
Very last movie. It was released the end of the year. A year after the murder of her mother, a teenage girl is terrorized by a new killer named Lloyd Cryer, who targets the girl and her friends by using horror films as part of the deadly game.
Originally intended
20th.
to be a Tales from the Crypt movie.
Originally intended to be an Outer Limits movie. Released December 20th, 1996. It is the American slasher film, A Scream, directed by Wes Craven and starring everybody. David Arquette, Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, Matthew Lillard, Rose McGowan, Skeet Ulrich, and I think even the Fonz is in this movie.
Doofy
is in this movie.
Oh yeah, the Fonz.
And Udo Kier's in this movie. Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is in this movie. Charlton Heston.
The Fonz played the principal. That's what we were talking about the other night, though. That they had the guy that played Lenny, who just passed away, in Scary Movie as the principal. I thought that was brilliant. I just think that kind of stuff's funny. Ha 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 ha. But anyway, Scream.
No, that's actually a good take.
So here's the trailer. Let's watch the trailer.
Let's watch the original trailer for Scream.
Is this the actual trailer, or is this just a clip?
This should be the actual original trailer.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Let's see what we got here.
What's that noise? Popcorn.
Yeah.
You making popcorn?
This is a pretty
Ready to
iconic
watch a
scene.
video. Really? What?
Man,
Some
that
scary
kind of
movie.
changed the game with this movie. It put horror back on the map finally.
Yes, it did.
Why do you wanna
Even
know
though
my
we,
name?
started getting a bunch of PG-13 slasher flicks.
I was like, it jump-started the PG-13 slasher craze. That's what I was going to say. Everybody loved their PG-13 slasher movies.
But,
They're like, you know what would be better? If people who are 13 could see this, they could pay more money.
Now
Let's go.
he's taken his love of fear.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Todd said it was Squiggy that passed away. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
What's the
Squiggy
point? They're all
passed
the
away,
same. Some
but it was
stupid
funny
killer
because
stalking some big-breasted
they
girl
made
in
him the
Canada. She's
principal.
always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door.
That's how
It's scary. It's nice to add up there.
rules
Huh?
that one must abide by.
Yeah, so that's a nice little add. It's a nice little touch.
Number one, you can never have sex. Never.
Richard
ever,
Nettleton
ever,
says he
under
would
any
love to meet
circumstances,
Drew.
say, I'll
Yeah,
be right back.
me too.
She won't be back.
Me too. Can you hook us up with her?
Yeah, can you make a phone call? Because she doesn't return my phone.
Make the rules.
No, it's because you send her weird messages, bud. Like, they're all like taped together letters that say, I love Drew. And I'm like, bud, you can't send those to people.
And I include my Hanes underwear, a pair of my Hanes underwear.
And you include weird pictures of you and a picture of her from Poltergeist, like, photoshopped together. I'm like, you can't do that, bud. She's like on your shoulders, and you're like,
Yay!
no, bud.
Will you be my best friend forever and ever?
My bestest friend. And remember, guys, the original title of Scream was Scary Movie. That was the original title of it.
It was.
So.
And it wasn't the first movie to kind of have that idea. There was a movie called Something's Out There. Is that what it's called, Charles? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Something's out there, Lloyd. It's Lloyd Cryer.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Something out there.
Something is out there, or I can't remember.
Try to remember.
It doesn't matter. It's not that important, but it's something like that. Something's out there, or some weird title like that. You know, like an often used line from a horror movie is what it's named after.
Yeah. And Scream was originally passed by Wes Craven. He kind of had the original ideal for it, and he helped. Scream was a script that was written, and a lot of studios wanted it, so they started a bidding war. And Dimension Films got it because it was kind of nodded to them by Wes Craven, and they thought initially Wes Craven was going to direct it, so they bought it, and then he said he didn't want to direct it, so they actually offered it to George Romero and Sam Raimi both, who neither of them wanted to direct it, and then Wes Craven was doing another project that got canned, so he became available, and then ultimately directed Scream, and it was a great thing he did because he was a great director for it, and it worked really well. And one of the reasons he took it afterwards is because they had signed Drew Barrymore to take that. Well, I guess kind of a funny thing is Drew Barrymore originally took the role of Sidney Prescott, and then they, some things that happened with her scheduling, it got knocked down to that cameo role that she had. So it's a nice little fun fact.
So here's another fun fact. What I was talking about was a movie called There's Nothing Out There. And this movie came out in 1989, I believe. And it's basically the same thing as Scream. It's a parody of the horror film genre. If anybody wants to look it up, there's some people out there that say that Craven actually saw There's Nothing Out There before he made Scream. Now, I have no idea if any of those things are true, but I think it's interesting to look that up. Ralph Konevsky directed it, and it's called There's Nothing Out There.
Nice. I've never actually seen that, so I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely, a low-budget movie made by a bunch of amateurs. But it's very interesting how they kind of tapped into that years before Scream.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a fun. And Scream kind of kickstarted horror back because, man, we were struggling with horror, guys. And we still struggled a little bit with horror throughout the 90s. But Scream definitely helped get more movies greenlit,
That is correct.
It definitely helped us. There was some more that we'll talk about the next couple of years. But
the horror genre was dying prior to Scream. It really was. It was just it was dying a miserable death in the 90s, and Scream came along and kind of brought the attention back to horror films by what? A slasher flick that everybody was sick to death of slasher flicks. And then you got Scream, and it kind of turned the slasher flick on its ears. So 1996. That's it. We did it. We got through it. We do have some honorable mentions, though. Before we move on from Scream, what do we want to talk about?
I don't know.
Anything else to say about Scream? Everybody knows about Scream, right?
I mean, everybody knows Scream. Now, Scream is kind of weird that the way it's released now is there's not a single disc of Scream out on Blu-ray. You can only get it on. There's a 3-movie collection which has films 1 through 3, and there's a 5-movie collection which has or 1 through. I don't know. It has the rest of the movies. I don't know. But
they call that a 5-film set, but it's 4 films, and one of the movies
not 5 movies.
is like a. Well, no, you're right. They do. They call it a 5-film set, but the 5th film is like a making of documentary on that set.
But to say, because there's only 4, so I'm like, what was the 5th film?
Yeah,
and it's the making of?
It's confusing the way they put that, but they did call it a 5-film set, and it's weird. But look who's here. Ghostface is here.
You're good. What are you doing? I'm scared.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ghostface.
Hi, everybody. I think I really want to go back and I want to edit Scream to where every time Ghostface talks, it's Udo Kier. Hello.
Hello.
Do you like scary movies? What is your favorite scary movie?
You tell me now. Tell me now.
You tell me now. Tell me about your favorite movie, the one with the guy with the fingers who go like this. I like to hear you.
Hendershot says 555 says he got to work with Skeet on 2 films. He's an amazingly cool guy, and he's a huge fan. Skeet is a cool guy. Very cool guy.
He was a cool guy.
He actually reached out to me. He saw that Nev was doing our show years ago. That was her very first show, and he reached out to me on Twitter of all places and wanted to come to the show. So we made it happen. It was pretty awesome.
You're like, You're like, come on in, buddy. Rock and roll.
All right, everybody. We are moving on to honorable mentions. So we're going to go ahead and play the honorable mentions video now.
They're not very honorable this year. There's like 2 movies. We're done.
Yeah, 2 movies. Bam. Nobody else deserved any attention.
Isn't there in the light? Or is there?
So what do we got?
Ooh.
What is this? Are you afraid of the dark?
9:30,
Okay.
8:30 Central only on Snap.
Oh, I forget people can hear us now.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
Ed, don't say any dirty words.
But you ought to get paid for it. Seems reasonable to me.
Tickle.
Too hard and you make it worth it for me too.
That guy just
Are
seen
you?
the camera.
Measures.
Just seemed pretty lazy. What movie is this?
I'm not
you know,
normally a
this is-
manipulative
have you ever seen this
person,
movie?
but in your
This is
case,
Head of the
I'm
Family.
going to
The
make
whole
an
thing is Head of the
exception.
Family?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this.
The last
This is a weird movie. Head of the Family is fucking
of
weird.
his kind.
Travis Brown says CBS All Access has Are You Afraid of the
The
Dark?
last night.
Oh, do they? That's awesome.
Okay, The Last Night Hunter. I haven't heard of that movie either.
I was telling Lloyd, like, what's funny is the newer we get, guys, the more awful quality the trailers are that I can find. Like a movie from the 70s, there's like beautiful 4K resto trailers, and like the 90s, there's like sub VHS quality trailers out there. That's all you get.
Well, I was telling you, Charles, that I think during around this time, they started throwing away original elements, and they were only keeping the video elements. Some of these studios were.
Welcome to Oblivion.
Yeah, no, it's not a good thing. They're like, I scanned this to VHS master. We're only gonna ever need this VHS master ever.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's all we'll ever need. No, they didn't really
Like,
think
okay.
about restoration in those terms. As odd as it sounds, it was only 26 years ago, but they really weren't thinking about it.
Todd Lewis wants to see Head of the Family. Yeah, guys, this is the original DVD ad for the promotions of DVD. It's like, welcome. You've got sense. Like,
Amityville Dollhouse.
Amityville Dollhouse. You know,
New home.
I had to.
Gotta die of something.
Oh, it's
To all the
Jason.
boys.
Craig Sheffer of A River Runs
That's
Through
Lloyd's comment.
and
I don't know
Fire
this
in the
shit.
Sky.
I don't know.
The hell's this shit?
The Grave.
Grave.
The Grave, yeah.
Spellbinding hour.
I want to play a game, Mommy.
I want to play a game, Mommy.
I'm talking about the rats.
You wanna play a game?
Dan Curtis.
Surprise, surprise.
Trilogy of Terror 2.
Trilogy of Terror 2.
Trilogy of Terror 2.
Yeah.
Premiering on USA.
Yeah.
A USA original film. Welcome.
All right, everybody. Those were the honorable mentions for 1996. What did you guys think?
There's
What did you
not
think of 96?
I think, yeah, how about you guys? I think 96 had some fun movies, you know? We got Scream, we got From Dusk Till Dawn. What else? We got Killer Condom, we got Ebola Syndrome, Craft, Rubber's Lover, Thinner. All right.
We did.
So everybody want People Under the Stairs. People Under the Stairs, Lloyd.
Mr. 80 said we missed Pinocchio's Revenge. Yeah, I guess we did. Didn't the guy who played Mini-Me, wasn't he Pinocchio in this?
Pinocchio's Revenge did come out in 96.
Yeah. Vern Troyer.
I wasn't.
Vern Troyer was Pinocchio.
Vern Troyer. Yeah, he was he was one of the doubles, I think. But you know, I'm a big fan of Kevin Tenney, who directed that, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie, but it's a weird movie. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually, to be honest with you, I did want to include it in the honorable mentions, but I had the hardest time finding a trailer for that movie that was actually viewable. It doesn't seem to exist, so that's the main reason why I got. There's also a couple other movies I wanted to throw in honorable mentions, but for the life of me, I could not find any video elements that seem to exist that are viewable. It's weird.
Yeah, so there you go. We couldn't find anything, guys. Charles couldn't find it, so.
Yeah, it's over.
So
It's
there
over.
you go. 1996, not the greatest year in horror of all time, But there
But I got
it
people
is.
under the stairs, though. I got people
So
under the stairs.
let's give people under the stairs away. Charles is ready. He's
Sure.
itching. He's itching to do this.
I'm itching for another reason, though. Doctor said it goes away in 3 days.
So, what do we want to do?
Why don't we ask a question? How about the first person who can tell me which movie on our list was actually supposed to be a Tales from the Crypt movie?
I think I've forgotten since then.
Go with that.
Was Jack Frost in 1996 also? That would.
I don't know. Was it
No, that was 97.
97 or 98? Wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
Jack Frost would be on my list.
All right. So there's some answers coming in.
All right, who got it?
It looks like Travis Brown got it, but you always win, Travis, because you're a walking dictionary or
Wait.
encyclopedia.
That's not the right title, though. That's not the right title.
It's not
No.
with the one that was supposed to be one. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, but those words are mixed around. Dawn Till Dusk. That's not a movie. I don't know. That
Okay,
movie.
so let's give it to Tyler. He was the first one who actually got it correct. It's
Tyler
from
Burrows
Dusk
got-
Till Dawn, not
You gave me the
Dawn
right
Till
title,
Dusk.
Tyler.
Yeah, it's not Dusk Till Dawn. It's from Dusk Till Dawn. So
Richie
Tyler,
Rich said Scanners. I like that.
Richard,
gonna
you
go with-
smart ass, you smart ass, Richard.
Richie Rich 0007 said Scanners, and I'm going with that. Scanners is an amazing movie.
It was originally supposed to be a Tales from the Crypt.
But right now I'm gonna give it to Tyler Burrows because he's the first one to spelled it right and put it out there.
He is. Tyler Burrows, you have won our grand prize of the People Under the Stairs on beautiful Blu-ray disc.
Yes,
Does it have a digital
Blu-ray
copy in it?
It does included with the release a digital ultraviolet, so you can watch it anywhere.
Wow. Technology.
Technomonology, guys. Technomonology. All right, Tyler Burrows, you're gonna have to tell me your address. So send that over to our Frightmare HQ Facebook page if you can.
Yes.
If not, you can email me at charlesdoes@frightmarehq.com.
Awesome.
But
so
I
here
got
we
more
are.
giveaways down the road.
This
got all
has been
kinds
a
of
good
giveaways
show
here.
tonight, Charles. This has been really good. I've had a good time.
Do you all see the giveaways for the future I have coming up, Lloyd? You want to see some of my giveaways for people? This is gonna be on the next shows. Look,
Bring it on. Bring it on. And
I got
show
this
us.
one. Look at this one coming up.
Oh, yeah. Die, Die, My Darling. That's a great song by the Misfits.
I got this one coming up.
Ooh, Never Take Candy from a Stranger. And that's Charles.
And I
Charles
got-
is the stranger.
This one coming up too.
Oh,
The double
yeah.
feature.
That's a good one. That's a good disc.
I know. Oh, and I've also got this one coming up in the future too. The William Castle double feature.
Homicidal and Mr. Sardonicus. Nice.
Those are fun movies. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm telling you guys, I got all kinds of stuff. I got a whole mile here.
So remember,
Here,
you...
I'm gonna give this to you too, Lloyd. Here, I got a VHS copy of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes for you.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That's
for
a
you,
good
Lloyd.
copy.
That's for you, Lloyd.
So,
Hope you like it.
Charles Anderson said, what time is the Patreon event this weekend? What time do we want to do that, Charles?
All right, guys. So we're gonna do it. We need to post this up December 13th, and I think we'll do it whatever time's good for you, Lloyd. What do you think?
Well, I'll close the shop at 5. Do you want to do it after the shop closes?
7 o'clock. We do 7 o'clock like normal.
Okay, 7 it is.
Or I mean, if you want to do it, I don't know. If you want to get home, or do you want to do it right after you close the shop? What do you want to do?
I think 7's good. If everybody else is good
7.
with that. Yeah.
7. We need to post it up. Let's post it up on the Patreon page and stuff so everybody knows.
I will get that up. The event is, Todd is asking what the event is. This is our Patreon monthly, Patreon only live stream. And if you are not a Patreon, you should sign up because we give away a big old box of stuff to one person every month. We do an exclusive
man.
Patreon live stream that's only accessible by Patreons. And we're pretty cheap. Our top tier's like $9, so that's pretty cool.
We are cheap, and it all goes to us doing giveaways and stuff like we like to do for you guys, but also helps us run the show, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, the giveaway box for December is pretty cool. I got some cool shit in there. Let me say that. I've put together a fun box. I put together these boxes of fun for you guys.
Todd Lewis goes, right, I meant the topic. So I got it wrong. He didn't want to know what we were doing. He wanted to know what the topic is, Charles.
Oh, jeez, Lloyd. I mean, why do you have to do this to poor Todd?
I know.
He works hard, and he's ready to party,
Yeah. Well, tell us what it is, Charles, the director. We're covering a director.
I know we are. Do you know who it is?
Downtown Travis Brown? No,
It's
I actually forget.
Travis. All right. Well, so what I do every month is on our Patreon, I throw up 3 directors, and I let the Patreon people choose. This month, they chose Joe Dante. So we're going to do our director series, and we're going to basically discuss the career of Joe Dante. Our Patreon.
Travis knew that before I did.
Yeah, that's the problem. But no. So what we do on these is we like to just do a nice... We're limited to 2 hours, but we like to talk about their films and show a lot of trailers and... just overview their career and what we think of it. It's a lot of fun to do. We did previous ones of Carpenter, Romero. So if you join the Patreon, you haven't seen those before, you can go back and watch the old ones. So they're a lot of fun to do. Just more ways for us to explore all these directors that we love, all these movies.
Definitely. Okay, so next up, before all of that, we've got Lynnea Quigley coming on.
Yes.
This is going to be awesome. I've never really been able to spend much time talking to Miss Quigley at the convention because it's always seems so busy, and she's one that I've just, for some reason, has always escaped me. So I'm going to finally be able to talk to Lynnea this Friday night, 7 p.m. Central. Tune in. Make sure, tell your friends, tell the neighbors. Make sure everybody's watching.
Yeah, and... thank everybody for tuning in. When the show's over, if you could like, comment, and share it to some pages that you like, really helps us out. We enjoy doing this, so hopefully you guys enjoy it too. Have a lot of fun. And that's, don't forget next Saturday we're getting close. The horror market, it's December 19th. Ooh-hoo-hoo.
It is December 19th. I'll go ahead and put that graphic up one more time. Do us a favor if you can, go to Facebook and RSVP and let us know you're coming so we know how many to expect. It's going to be a lot of fun with Lynnea Quigley, Paul Taylor, Leslie Dean, lots of vendors. It's $5 cash at the door to get in. But that gets you a lot. $5 is nothing, man. $5 is nothing. Come on out and join us. It's going to be fun.
I'll be table dancing from 3 to 4. So,
Charles, I think you're going to have a table set up, aren't you, with some stuff, right? With some Frightmare HQ stuff. Or did you decide to do that or no?
I don't know if I have a table. I don't think I have a table, but I don't mind talking to people about Frightmare HQ. I think the thing was trying to find a table because I know we're limited on space. So, that was the thing.
Well, if you actually have a table, just come out and set up, brother.
No, I don't have a table.
Last second tip.
Oh, you just don't have a table.
I'll find one though.
Richard Nettleton super chatted us $5. Thank you very much for that, guys. We appreciate
thank you.
Your tips so we can keep buying stuff to give away to Yoga. And
we like to give stuff away, guys.
That's right. And Charles, on that same on the Frightmare HQ website, you've got a lot of new merch there, don't you?
We do have Frightmare HQ merch. At FrightmareHQ.com. So if you go to FrightmareHQ.com, it'll link you over to our page, which will link you to our Patreon. But you can also get merch from us on there, and we have lots of fun crap on there: T-shirts, posters, pillows, coffee cups.
Definitely.
You name it. It's on there. El Diablo stuff.
Diablo stuff. Yeah. So go check that out. What else, Charles?
We'll be back Yeah, I said Friday we have Lynnea, and got our Patreon show on Sunday. We'll be back for 1997 next Wednesday. The 19th is the horror market, so we're not planning on having a show that day because it's the horror market. But I'll try to go live and stuff, throughout the day, see what everybody's doing. But come out. I want to see everybody, talk to everybody, chat, have fun, do our things.
Yep, perfect. Sounds great. All right, guys. Well, we had a fun time tonight. Thank you all for joining us, each and every one of you on Twitch and YouTube both. Be sure when we stop, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a share, and leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of the show, and we're looking forward to joining you once again this Friday night for Frightmare HQ featuring Lynnea Quigley. I think that's it. My name is Lloyd Cryer.
You're Lloyd Cryer?
Yes. Who are you?
I heard about you. I'm Carlos Blueberry.
All right. Magic. Guys, thank y'all for joining us. Y'all have a great one, and we'll talk to you very, 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 very soon. Peace.
Oh, yeah, we will.